All right, it is 5 p.m. on August 26th. I'm going to call this meeting of the Board of Health to order. In attendance, all members. Kathy Ferguson. Absent tonight is health agent. The
77 Spring.
Okay. Are you here for 77 Spring?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to come in?
Sure.
You be first.
I'm gonna suggest we take this out of order in the agenda. All right. Come on in and have a seat. All right, so 77 Spring is installation of a new system. Can you just introduce yourself for the board and the record?
So my name is Nick Courtney with Merrill Engineers and Surveyors.
Okay.
Here on behalf of Mark Selberty for project at 77 Spring Street.
All right.
Would you like me to go through?
Yeah, I can think, Kathy, if you can just bring us up to speed on where we're at with that project, just to refresh everyone's memory.
If you remember, we hope to review, the review engineer had some comments. I think Nick came back with this letter addressing the comments.
Okay.
The first one was about the public drinking water well.
Yes.
So that's all kind of been understood that DEP is going to be in charge of that.
Yep.
But that you guys or Rob has to know that he still does need to come in for the well permit when he goes to control.
Right.
Okay.
So
This was the multi-building tradesman center type? Okay.
So that's fixed. The second one was to just add a benchmark to the plan, and so we're going to do that at some point.
We did that on the last set.
Okay.
So is that what I have here is the last stuff?
What's the
Is that a
revision date on
revised
these ones?
I don't know if it changes.
It should.
This one's a spec.
Should had a revision date if there were revisions. April 29.
We changed our title block a little while ago, so it's different than it was, but I think we added,
Is it clouded or anything to indicate this change?
no.
Okay.
We wrote in the letter what the change was for the benchmark.
All right. Yeah, if you want to go through your answer for that.
Yeah. I got it. Yeah, so we added benchmark as close as we possibly could for the time being to the
Okay.
septic system, which was, I think if you go down to that catch basin,
Benchmark catch basin, yeah.
it's about 75 to 100 feet away from this leach
Okay.
field here. Then we added another note onto a second sheet, basically saying that the contractor will put in, or should put in, a benchmark within 50, 75 feet of the system prior to
Is that in
construction.
the notes?
Yeah, it's
Construction notes.
note 16, I think.
Contractor's responsibility to ensure an accurate benchmark, 57.5 feet, okay? All right. That was item 2.
Item 2. Item 3, I think we discussed with Kevin that this plan does not need a variance,
Okay.
so that one's done. And then,
Right, that was a discussion about mounted system, but it wasn't mounted for groundwater, it was mounted just because of site conditions,
Yes.
the
Yeah.
rating.
Yeah.
Okay.
so
Yep.
and number 4 was the one I think that you were talking about tonight, about the common ownership.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I know that there's a regulation, it's like 15.290 in regards to, I think, shared systems and common ownership for the buildings.
Yep.
Since we have 3 buildings, ideally we would like to do a condo association for the site.
Okay.
So each building would have its own tenant, as part of that condo association. And that condo association would manage the system instead of having one
Gotcha.
person as the owner and leasing out the buildings.
So you're looking to form a condo association that would own the property?
Yes, for the property.
They would own the property. The building spaces would be leased or would be owned individually as condominium units by an individual or business?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So I think where we sit with that one is, so our supplemental reg on shared systems talks about sharing systems with buildings unless there's common ownership. So the concept would be the common ownership is the land?
Yes,
Okay.
that's the association.
Okay.
It's not, it's not a person managing all
Right.
three buildings, but there's an entity between the three buildings and whoever's a tenant within those buildings.
Gotcha. All right, so you want to discuss that one, gentlemen? We have Cranberry Knoll, I guess, right, is our closest condominium type property.
It is. I don't believe that 165 Palmer Road, well, it wasn't intended as a condominium. And those two buildings have a shared system.
Right.
That's the, what is it, Turkwright, I think we told
Yep.
them to put in. But yet, if I remember correctly, I saw a sign up out front for sale or lease.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that one. We may have to revisit it.
Yeah.
Should be.
But Cranberry Knoll would be the closest, I think.
Yeah. Where?
Stevie's and,
Convenience
Oh,
store?
yes, yeah, the gas station.
Gas station convenience store.
And the auto, yeah,
Yep.
that's been condo. That's got a shared system too. And that has nothing to do with Katie's or the convenience store.
Yeah.
That's separate, along with the hookups.
Okay.
So those two are completely separate there.
I think last time we talked about what was the history behind that
Yes.
specific regulation. We haven't been able to dig up any
Literally or figuratively. So I guess what we need to do is we need to determine if our interpretation of this as the overseer of our local regs is that common ownership refers to the land holding the buildings or the buildings residing on the land. See the reg, it is somewhat non-specific as to whether it's referring to the ownership of the buildings or the parcel. It is one single parcel, right? It's a single parcel. The land is owned by one entity. It's just a question of the buildings having separate ownership. How did we handle that with the gas station and service station? That was subdivided after the system was in, correct?
Yes.
So that didn't even come before us
No.
when the subdivision was made,
Right.
because at the time that it was originally permitted, it was under common ownership.
Yes,
Both the buildings and the land.
correct.
Okay.
And I guess, from my understanding, it was easier to make it a condo
Yeah.
sell.
Yeah.
and that's why,
in the case of the gas station.
yeah.
Did we
Kevin hasn't really weighed in,
have, Kevin hasn't weighed in?
not that I'm aware of, to Kevin.
No, the only conversation we had was when I was here last time.
Right, which is about the other.
Yeah. We had some brief discussion, and he said it's a possibility to do like some type of deed restriction, maybe, saying, you know, this is the overseeing entity of the site who should maintain the...
So there's probably no condo documents established yet, correct?
Correct.
Is each building gonna have its own independent electrical service?
Yes.
But not each condo space, so there would be one service for the building.
Yeah,
Would there be meters for each space?
I believe so.
Okay. In terms of building, who owns the building, exterior, foundation, etc.? So if a foundation crack occurs, would that go to the...
It would go to the condo association.
Okay, so there is some common ownership in building responsibility of the condo association versus the individual unit owners. Further discussion? I mean, in this case, obviously the lot, it's impractical to have a system for each building. It just wouldn't work. But at least, sorry, I'll steal that again. I mean, we do have, in terms of ownership of the land, we do have one common entity that would be responsible for the land of the system and the connections to the building. Would you agree?
Who will retain ownership to the land?
It's going to be the association.
The association,
Yeah.
so everything's under the association then?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would assume any site maintenance would go through the
The
association.
association?
Yeah.
Okay. There won't be someone who will own the land and the buildings will be separate from the land?
No, it's going to be total oversight as far as I'm aware.
Okay.
Kind of like an HOA.
Do you have any sense as to when there might be some condo docs drawn up?
It would be, I would assume some, I'm not really sure.
Okay.
I want to say,
Yeah, and that's fine, yeah.
So, I mean, thinking of this in terms of how it's written, right? If there was one building on this site, but 5 different owners of the condo spaces, it wouldn't be an issue. It wouldn't even come across in terms of discussion, right? So, I mean, I guess I'm kind of leaning towards being inclined to think it probably is referring to subdivision of land.
So our supplemental reg doesn't apply 100% to what it is.
I don't think so. At least that's how I'm kind of viewing it.
Yeah.
We do still have one parcel that's not subdivided. That one parcel is under common ownership. And at least in oversight of the buildings and the system's not tied to a unit, that would be under the purview of the homeowners association, I would assume, once they have those documents set up. So maybe would you entertain an approval with a condition on it that those condo docs state that systems shared between the buildings are under the purview of that HOA?
Yeah, and back to us for final review and final approval.
Yeah. That way we just make sure that it is covered so that we do have an entity that is responsible for this that we could seek I guess, remedy with if there was an issue.
Yeah.
Does that
Yeah,
sound
I think that's
appropriate?
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So so say there was an issue with the septic system and we had to apply leverage under the current, situation. It would have to, I guess you could just, what leverage is there to, fix a problem if you got people who are not willing to fix an issue?
Yeah, no, I guess no further leverage than we have with any homeowner either,
Yeah, that's true.
right? I guess I'm a little more comfortable because it's not a residence with multiple dwellings, it's a commercial space, right? So it's not, it's not something where you'd have to remove people from a home if there was a problem. And I think I'm leaning towards, looking at this as meeting the intent of that supplemental reg.
So if you approve it tonight and I send out the letter of approval to the
Yep.
owner, we could put a paragraph in there,
I think the condition would be
the
that
condition.
we need to see the final condo association docs to ensure that it does cover the fact that the system on this single parcel, even though
Right, and we would
connected to the
ask to see
buildings.
them before the COC would be,
Correct, yeah, so finalization, and that would probably be in the timeline of, appropriate timeline of when they would have those drafted out anyway. That the final COC wouldn't be issued until,
okay.
Well,
We saw that.
maybe say conditional approval is granted upon receipt of the condo docs. The board will review them and issue a final approval.
Sure.
Something like that.
Okay, do
Yeah.
you want to
In other
say?
words, it's okay,
yeah.
but we need to see the final draft.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're just trying to make sure that there is an entity that is ultimately responsible, right? So that somebody doesn't purchase a unit and something happens down the road and there's nobody that we can seek remedy with.
Yeah.
Everybody starts splitting fingers.
Yeah.
Since we're kind of going against the text of our bylaw, should we bring it up with bylaw committee or to get more
I think probably-
detail in it?
I think probably in the future, we should probably revise that to be a little more clear.
Okay.
We're supposed to start work on that next month. And
Okay.
revise an hour.
Yeah, I would tag this one as one.
Okay.
Because they're ultimately, the person's purchasing their unit, right? They're not purchasing the whole building. The building is still essentially held in the association.
Yeah, it's either gonna be someone purchasing the building or there's 5 days in each building, so
Okay.
there might be a split of ownership in each building.
Yeah, could be 3 and 2,
Yeah,
4 and 1,
yeah,
whatever.
exactly.
So if you went to look up that parcel at the registry of deeds, it would just be one piece.
Yes, it would be whatever the name of the condo association would be that owner.
All right. Is there a motion then on this?
I'd make a motion that we do a tentative approval tonight.
1367.
Okay.
So there's your plans.
Thank you.
And as Kevin
Second that
said
motion.
here, if you would mind signing the bottom, please.
Yep. So I have a motion and a second for conditional approval on application 1367 for 77 Spring Street. Is there any further discussion?
Yep.
All right, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. I'll give you those to stamp. Sorry. That looks like some real estate up there for a stamp. Today is, what do we say, 26?
Yep.
I'll give that back to you. Were there any other issues on this?
No?
project? That was the last remaining one.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll get you'll get a copy of the letter that I sent to the owner.
Yeah. All
Tell
right.
him.
Thank you.
We'll never get to see what was in there.
No, yeah, it's just a big plan.
Oh, okay.
I felt like I didn't need to take it out at this table.
No, that's all right. I think it kind of discussed the issue and we're able to see what was going on there, so.
Yeah, I was more or less, we were trying to get an understanding of what you guys would think
Yeah.
as well. So, yeah, glad we could find a solution.
Thank you.
What did I miss one?
I got the last one.
Oh, okay.
Alrighty, thank you guys for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Of course.
Anything next call?
Sure.
All right, that knocks out 77. Start with the minutes.
Start with the minutes.
That one passed. All right, our last meeting was July 29. And the meeting minutes from July 29. You emailed those out last week, right? Did you email those out? No. Meeting minutes, no.
I'll do that, it's not gonna be good.
Oh. Look at those. You looked at them prior to the meeting?
I did.
Okay. Is there a motion on the meeting minutes?
Make a motion, we accept the minutes as
Second.
read.
All right, motion and second on the minutes. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
The very first thing on the agenda is 110 Center Street.
Excellent.
This is a permit that is going to expire on the 13th of September of this year. And this is a letter from Webby Engineering asking for the 1-year extension that Title V
Okay.
allows for. I did talk to the owner and he believes that the house is going to be sold and the system is going to be cleared. You know, it won't be done by September 13th, but it will be done soon.
Okay. Is there currently anybody residing in? Yeah. And the house is up for sale? Okay. Do you want to look at the letter from Webby? Is there a motion on the extension?
I would make a motion that we grant the one-year extension. This property is on the market.
Okay.
Second.
So motion is second to extend for 1 year the permit application, 110 Center Street. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. We can give him his 1 year extension.
I will let the homeowner and the engineer.
Excellent, thank you, Kathy.
Okay, next category, approved septic plans out for installation, 8 Elm, still waiting for the as-built, Erie County, still being installed, 165 Palmer, waiting for the as-built, 72 Prospect being installed, 5 County, waiting for the as-built, and 173 Main being installed.
Okay, you had mentioned 165, that was for sale. Yeah, I'm curious what they're doing there. Maybe worth reaching out to them to find out what they're doing.
Yes.
Here you go, 165.
Oh, I don't want to see all that.
Justifies our
And
private sessions.
Yeah.
I believe Kevin has done the final inspection before he went on vacation.
Yeah, he was gonna look at it.
And his note was waiting for as-built.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so before we discharge that plan,
Before we go to the citizen.
yeah, we may want to inquire as to what their intent is with selling that parcel, since there is a for sale sign.
It said for sale or lease
Okay.
on the sign, which, okay, so now we may be into condo docs again.
Yeah, so if they are, I mean, they could be selling the whole lot,
Yeah,
but maybe we just request some clarity and cite that section of our regs, just stating potentially what they're doing may cause an issue, so we just need some clarity on what they're doing before that COC is issued.
I'd like Kevin next week too.
Okay. All right, thank you. So that was it for out for install?
So under pending, notice you moved the third one down.
Yep.
And then the last one is 178 Main Street. It's been out for review, it's come back. Kevin was able to look at this before he left. It is okay to approve, there is one variance.
Okay, this is a repair, right?
It is a,
Okay.
so there's
Thank you.
make a motion to approve the numbers.
1369 is the variance application. All right, so we have a repair to the system at 178 Main. They are seeking a variance to allow the system 105 feet from their well instead of the required 150 feet by our supplemental regs. It still meets the Title V separation distance, and it is a repair of an existing system, an existing condition. So, is there a motion on the variance?
I'd make a motion that we approve the variance.
Okay.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the variance for 178 Main Street, which would be application 1369. Any discussion on the variance? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. The plan itself, was there any discussion on the plan? Came back from Kevin with no comments. instead of the one variance we just voted on. Is there a motion on this set of plans?
Make a motion to approve the plans as shown.
Okay, so we have a motion to accept the plans for 178 Main Street repair as shown,
Seconded.
and a second discussion. Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. So that was Plan 1369, approved unanimously. I will sign that, Kathy. And the variance we all need to sign. So that is good to go. That is for you. Start this chain. Signatures. Back to you for that. Oh, this one? That one needs a stamp. That one needs a stamp. Thank you.
You're welcome.
There was nothing with 40 Ring or 23 Pullman. Okay. That is all four. Thank you, Kathy.
Yeah, we're on page 2.
Page 2.
First is 10 Mayflower Road.
Yep.
Without going into executive session to talk about
Strategies.
strategies of litigation, which we didn't have on the agenda. Just suffice it to say that one of the attorneys from KP came in to the office and gave her what she needed.
Okay.
And there was been no update from them today.
Okay.
So I think they was perhaps having some type of hearing or something today, but we haven't.
All right. So there's no action needed. We don't need an executive session at this point for the next meeting. Okay. All right.
Then on that 36 Parsonage Road, if you remember, we had done a letter asking
Yeah, the barn.
them to do 10-5.
Yes.
The due date for that to come back to the board was yesterday. Didn't get it,
Okay.
but I did talk to Bay State Sewage, who is supposedly doing the 10-5.
Okay.
So it works.
Have we had contact with the owner? Did they reply at all or
No.
reach out after that?
I just got a call from the Title V inspector at Bay State wanting to clarify whether it was a voluntary Title V or a real Title V. It's a real Title V.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
just waiting for that.
So, and we had decided we would take a similar action there that we took with the other property that had a non-permanent structure connection.
So, and it will be a Title V complete with a water test.
Okay.
So we'll know a lot more when we get it.
All right.
And I have it on my calendar so that if it doesn't come in before the next meeting, I will call and find out what's up. Okay, makes sense.
Thank you.
Next is Kay Gates.
Yes.
Since the last meeting, if you remember the last meeting, they attended, they agreed not to use the shake machine,
Yeah.
and they were going to discuss solutions, and they thought they were coming back.
Yeah, with a plan of action for,
Since then, there was a test on August 5th, which failed, and then a test on August 11th, which passed.
which is kind of consistent
Very
with what we've
consistent.
seen, where pass,
What's
fail,
going on.
pass, fail.
So, I don't know if maybe when Kevin comes back, you want him to reach out to them and see if they're willing to come into maybe a meeting or.
Yeah, or even just see where they sit with that plan, and to the best of our knowledge, they're still not utilizing that
Right.
machine. Okay.
Yeah, 'cause I think we told them.
Yeah,
Did we tell them to take that particular machine out of service or no milkshakes from any machine?
I think the issue was that machine, so, I mean, if they.
So they swapped them out?
Well, we don't know.
I don't.
That was one of the things they had talked about.
Yeah, we gave them, we just kind of left it to them as to how they wanted to address solving the problem, other than testing, cleaning, cleaning, testing.
Yeah, sure.
So I think they had discussed or talked about reaching out to the manufacturer for some guidance, possibly pulling another machine that they had in storage. Without any further info from them, I don't know that we really know what they're doing. As long as they're not utilizing that machine, I think for now we're okay.
Okay, next category was perk tests.
Yes.
Those 3 perk tests were done by Kevin.
Okay.
So they're all done. New business we have. First one is, and I discussed these with Kevin when I saw them. First one's 179 Main Street.
Yep.
It is, we received a report from the pump company that said the system is not at the proper working level. It is full. There is visible run back from the leach field. We usually like to do a little letter to the owner to see what's up. In this case, we had done a letter to the owner on May 5th of this year, and a letter back in 2023. Never heard from. So, discuss what we'd like to do for next month.
All right, so August 5th, sent a letter to the owner of record regarding that pump out. Fulfill his run back. We reached out in May, so we had a previous report in May of problems, and previously in 2023. And have we ever had any replies for any of the contacts going back to 2023? All right, so
The septic pump companies now, when they send their reports, they're very detailed.
Okay.
And they do flag when there are issues. And some issues are minor, such as, they may say your system may need some additives, or they may say your filter was clogged and we cleaned it. The only ones that require a letter
yep.
is when they flag something that could rise to the level of being involved.
Okay. Did we get I see the pumping record from 2023. Do we have one for the most recent? Maybe it is.
It's, that doesn't go.
Yeah, this, I think,
Oh, there it is. I missed it.
so all of this is all.
What's that?
July of this year.
Okay. So that's the most recent one. That's prompted our last list. Thank you. So it sounds like they didn't notice anything surface water, right? They just run back from the field into the tank.
It's indicative of
Failure of the leaching field. Maybe see if Kevin can schedule a visit to see what is actually occurring there, see if he can make contact with the owner.
Yeah, he's done that before on
no
a lot of
success?
occasions. And it's had success either in saying, you know, it doesn't appear that there's anything on the ground right
Yeah.
now. And then maybe making sure the owner realizes that they need to keep up with their pumping.
Yeah. Because that was, so prior to this pumping, the last pumping was 23? Okay.
And then there's a letter in there that goes into more detail on what was going on before.
So what prompted our letter in May? There was another pumping in May? So May to now. So 2023 to May, there was no record of the pumping. Then May, they pumped. In August, they had to pump again. So it seems like it is getting worse.
Yeah, and if you look at the letter, show me those for a sec.
Yes, okay.
That's like this.
Okay.
So I think there's something in Title V, and Kevin can quote it, I'm sure, is if you have more than X amount of
Three in a year.
4 times per year.
that, you know, that triggers something.
Okay. So I'm just wondering why if we had all these frequent pumping in 2022 and 2023 and we didn't have anything in 25, what was the reason for that? So, yeah, I think probably a good next step is to see if Kevin can make contact with the owner.
Or invite the owner in.
Yeah, if we, well, let's see what Kevin does, and perhaps
If he's unsuccessful,
we can send a registered letter to have them come in for the next meeting to see what's going on. All right. Is it, do we know if it's owner occupied? Okay.
Okay, the next one is very similar. It's 176 Brook Street. And latest record is overflow, visible run back from each page. Please contact us. We can discuss how to help you address the concerns.
Okay.
And just haven't heard back on that one.
Is that the same hauler?
Wind River.
No, it's different.
Okay.
So similarly, if you would like to put that on Kevin's desk.
Yeah.
And follow up.
Yeah, I think if our letter doesn't achieve any response, that probably that's a good next step. That way he can verify there isn't an imminent environmental hazard on the property, try and make contact with the owner and see where that goes, and then if not, we can take a similar path of that, sending something certified and asking them to appear at a meeting to discuss next steps. That was 176 Brook.
Once, okay.
It's August 5. Okay.
Yeah, that one I don't believe is in the street, that was the first one.
Okay.
But some people would want to skip the fire department.
Yeah, let's
Be a
handle
long
that.
discussion,
Let's handle that at the end.
stuff.
Yep.
So if that's all right with you guys, I have here an application for a large event permit, Sawchuck's Corn Maze and Pumpkin Patch. Kevin did review the permit application. And, you guys just need to sign that.
Okay. He had no concerns with anything?
Nope, this is, as we all know, the yearly event.
Okay. Are there any, do you know if there's any changes from the previous year? Looks pretty similar in terms of layout. Okay. All right, do we want to look at this application?
So if you guys approve the permit, you can just put the signatures on there.
Just a question, have we heard from fire and police? I mean, I know,
Saw on there that they did meet with at least the fire department. In one section, they discussed that. Top of that page.
okay, met with Captain Shosted.
So for most of these large event permits, they meet independently with police and fire. And
Oh, right.
they also, if they need any liquor licenses or anything, they meet independently with the Board of Selectmen.
Okay.
Hopefully there's 5 dough.
Yeah, I think will Kevin do any of the cooking inspections, or is that our other resource?
Mr. Sawchuck has permits for the building and the kitchen.
Okay, so that was
already.
done previously.
And any food trucks will independently get their food permits here
Okay,
before they set up.
all right. So our food inspector did hit that as part of the rounds?
Food inspector hasn't done that,
Okay.
so Kevin will probably have to do it because the food inspector's gone.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay.
So it depends on whoever gets back first.
Okay.
But the food trucks will have already been previously inspected.
So there was another one of those that blew up somewhere. Did you see that? Yeah, another propane issue. I can't remember where it was, but it was fairly recently.
Yeah, that's you guys, that's fire department.
Yes, it is.
I don't have any questions about that.
Okay, is there a motion on the large event permit for Sawchuck's Corn Maze and Pumpkin Patch?
Make a motion, we approve the large event permit.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
No.
No.
Okay, seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. We can sign this large event permit. Yeah, coffee truck in North Carolina.
Oh, so that's,
Yeah, 4 people injured.
excellent.
There's you. All right, so this we don't need to sign, that stays with us.
Okay,
Need your paper clip.
thanks.
No problem.
And the next one would be a large event permit for Full Circle Homes, Mayflower Market Days. Again, this has been reviewed by the health agent.
Okay.
Good, it's gonna rain.
I was just
Yeah, I
about,
know.
break up the
Don't
drought.
say that.
just about to say the same thing.
But it is true. Whatever that weekend is, write it down.
Consistent.
We'll be pouring buckets.
It's hoping this drought would end.
All right, so looks like that'll be food trucks as well. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, and you know, by this time, both of these entities know. that-
Yeah. Yeah, I think they use
Okay.
pretty much the same setup they've used for the last few years.
Yeah.
All right, you want to peek at their application? Yeah, they actually have a site safety plan in addition to their application. That's nice. Next.
I read much slower than Art, so.
As I mentioned, Kevin did review it.
Yeah.
Jared just wants to put that weekend in his calendar.
Right?
Oh, I think last year was decent, wasn't it, the weather?
I think one of the days was decent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do think consistently though. They,
Oh, boy, they had a few years in a row that
with
Oh,
rain.
yeah.
were terrible.
Well, it's guessing game, right?
Yeah. Enough time to grow out your handlebar mustache, Jared.
You don't need a insurance finder or anything?
I think
Not
Well,
from us.
the alcohol purveyor
Yeah, that,
provided
Oh,
insurance to
okay.
select board. I don't know about the overall event, probably a general liability to the select board, I would assume.
yeah, I think they usually have 2 per year.
Yeah.
So, if they submitted that for their spring event, we don't require them to resubmit it for the following.
All right, so we have the application for Mayflower Market Days, October 18, 19, their large event permit. Is there a motion?
Make a motion, we approve the large event permit.
Second?
A motion and a second, any discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. All right, so that is our 2 large event permits.
Yeah, so next is 16 Brook Street. This is another one of those septic issues brought up by the pumper,
Okay,
but 16 Brook Street is owned or run by Seven Hills Foundation. It is a group home.
okay.
So Kevin and I, we discussed this, and basically what we're saying is we sent you letters January 4th, May 5th regarding your septic system. We've received a third notice of the system not proper working level, overfill, visible run back, and this would be Wind River. The determination was made because this is a group home
Mm-hmm.
to skip ahead and send these letters certified. And in typical Kathy fashion, I sent them to the 3 addresses
Okay,
that I found.
so the owner of record, Seven Hills Foundation, they have 3 addresses that you were able to find.
The physical
Burke
address,
Street,
the address.
Worcester, and Paxton.
yeah, one of the addresses I got from where the tax bills go, and then another address that I had. So that's just fine.
All right. And that one, I would agree, we probably take more of an aggressive stance because it is a group home versus a single-family residence. And we can charge Kevin with following up on that as soon as we can. Okay.
So to finish out new business,
Yes.
we would go to 5 Palmer Road, and in front of you, you all have the same package, which discusses health and safety concerns about the basement at 5 Palmer were brought to the attention of the Board of Health on August 13th via an email from the town administrator. And then I did look in our files, and the history that I found was following. In 2005, American Environmental Consultants conducted an inspection. And funny enough, it was August of that year, and mold, spores, and other issues were found. We don't have any follow-up information on our file to show that the mitigation works adjusted and the report was ever done, but perhaps that could be located in the building department files or the selectmen files or the accountant's files. There's just nothing in our files. I looked at it's not our, it wasn't us, the Board of Health meeting minutes from 2005, and back in 2005, the Board of Health was located in the basement.
Okay.
So the office was closed until the inspection was done. And the meeting minutes show the office was closed on 8/8/05. And then on 8/21, the Board of Health adjourned their meeting and met with the selectmen regarding mold. I don't have the selectmen's meeting minutes, so I don't know what happened. In 2006, there is an indication that the board discussed the results from the latest mold count. That was the only history I can find from 2005. 2014, if you remember what we used to call the Reinhardt study, which was the town complex building study. In that study, they found that the basement did not have adequate humidity controls or adequate protection from water intrusion. And then on page 57 in your packet, it states problems are reported to still exist with mold, and there is no record of any asbestos study. Again, this is just something I found in the history. And then, as it was brought to our attention by the town administrator in 2025, I did reach out to our regional epidemiologist, and she sent you a few things. She sent an EPA brochure about sick building syndrome, and she also sent her research summary about next steps on this page. And you know, there's a lot in her research summary. Basically, the bottom line is next steps should include reviewing the internal air quality, including radon testing, asbestos testing, formaldehyde testing, and mold testing. And that the town must engage, or should engage, a professional testing company to review indoor air quality and document the current level of exposures to the contaminants listed above. Once a report is received, the health agent and Board of Health will review findings and discuss next step with the Board of Selectmen. So it's up to you as to how you want to talk to the Board of Selectmen, if you want to do it via phone call, email, or correct. It's up to you.
Yeah, go ahead, Art.
I have a couple of things I'd like to bring the board up to shade on before we,
Yep.
just so you're fully aware. At the selectmen's meeting a week ago yesterday, after the meeting, I spoke with two of the selectmen and the town administrator, and I offered to have the owner of an asbestos remediation company come in and take a look at things, not to do testing, that's expensive.
Yeah.
And they said 3 is good,
Okay.
which is fine. But after going through this, and I believe it was 2 weeks ago yesterday, that the highway department was asked to empty out some of the things in the basement.
Yep.
They took 4 F-550 dump truck loads out of the basement.
Okay.
There were over 50 walkers, aluminum walkers.
Yeah.
Like files, furniture, all the above.
The walkers, I think most of it was COA things that had been accepted as donations and stored. And some of the materials, I'm told, had black mold on it. Now, going forward, it's my opinion that no town employee should be asked to clean out down there if there's black mold on things. That should be done by a professional in hazmat suits and a respirator. You disturb that stuff, it gets in the air, and then it can go through the building. That's an even bigger problem, because then the employees in the building have a problem with it. This is just my opinion. And so I think going forward, if there are things that need to be done down there, that they have to be done by professionals. If there's that material down there, I've been told that there is asbestos in the boiler room. There may be some asbestos ceiling tiles, I don't know. But it's been going on for a long, long time, and it's time to put an end to it. Perhaps that area should be off limits to everybody until it's tested, and we get a report back and an evaluation with the company that does the report. I don't think I'd be contacting the individual to come in and look at the potential asbestos things. I'd rather get the testing done. I'd rather have the testing, the mold, the asbestos, radon, everything, and get a complete professional report, and then go forward from there. And another issue that I have, this testing must be done by and overseen by the Board of Selectmen, Town Administrator, or the Board of Health. No one else. And if it's Board of Health, then so be it. If they want to pass it off to the board, then fine. If the Board of Selectmen want to do it and oversee it, and the Town Administrator. But keeping the Board of Health in the loop, we want the full report, not some of the things that have gone on in the past. And I think those are very reasonable things to do. We're talking about the health and safety of the individuals in this building, the employees of the town. There was a count done as to a cancer rate in this building. And the number that I got was, what I heard was 8. And then it went up from there. I mean, it could be 11 or a dozen. Now, out of the number of people and small number of people in the building over the years, it's granted it's a larger number, but it's still a small group and it's a very high number. And not that all of those issues are building related or anything, but it's time we stop kicking the can down the road and looked out for the health and safety of the employees of this town.
Yeah, I was unaware of the, obviously the 2005 and 2006 stuff, because I wasn't on the board then. So I am kind of curious as to what was done, if anything. Based on the findings, there was some issue here.
Yeah, and I think what happened with the Board of Health itself is back in 2007, this office was created.
Yeah.
So, Board of Health just came upstairs.
Right.
But there were still people working in this.
Yes. And there's another issue in that basement. There's a drain in the front part of the foundation that is completely plugged. I know when Scott Rickley was the highway superintendent, which goes back, I don't know how many years now, 5 or 6 or 7 or whatever it is, he tried to clear the drain. He borrowed a piece of equipment, a truck, some sort of a truck, to try to force the pipe. There's material in the pipe. Couldn't do it. So it may be that has to be dug up from the surface, that pipe replaced. The water, when it comes in down there, it's got no place to go. So you have a buildup of humidity and moisture, and that's going to cause mold and every other issue too. So we have to take care of that space, and nobody can, in my opinion, nobody should go in there. It should be just...
Does it flood down there?
It does get water in there, yeah. And that drain was put in so that it can go out. It's not like a sump pump. It's a pipe.
That goes out to daylight?
But it could have been put in 1938, which, you know, a lot of things can happen in that amount of time. So that's another issue that has to be taken care of in conjunction with the whole thing. And I think Reinhardt said it back in 2014, and, you know, here we are in 2025 and nothing's been done.
Yeah, I agree with you about the, it's documented that something's going on down there, and yeah, the highway department's not the correct entity to be handling it, especially without doing any cordoning off the airspace.
I think we discussed with that draft.
Yeah.
That something similar happened at the old townhouse, if you remember.
Right.
They found mold. The mold remediation company came in, did it in a safe manner, and then the Board of Health asked Kevin to go and inspect, and then we gave permission for the old townhouse to open back up.
Right.
So this, you know, speaking as an employee, I think people that work here are concerned. And I think the best way to alleviate that concern would be to
Have a clean bill of health down there.
require an open and transparent response and keep people apprised of what's going on.
Yeah, and I agree, Kathy, it's gotta be open and transparent with all of the employees.
All right, so what do we feel our course of action should be moving forward from this? Do we want to reach out to the select board and the town administrator by email and indicate that some, I guess essentially what you just stated, no further stuff get removed unless it's done by a company that's trained and knowledgeable about this type of work. Some testing be done in that space
Yes,
to determine what hazards exist, and a plan for remediation be put together and acted on.
okay, and I guess do we do this in letter form, or do we reach out to the Board of Selectmen and Town Administrator and say, let's have a joint meeting?
Yeah, I mean, that may be the best course of action. I mean, I guess we could probably start with an email, just to get the ball rolling, or get it on their radar.
The subject of making the basement out of bounds may be something that you could do immediately. and
Yeah.
then-
Yeah, there is I guess with that 2005 report, there is a documented hazard there with no,
And again, it certainly, it could have been remediated and we just don't have,
Any
any
documentation?
documentation.
so I think that would be appropriate as well, based on the '05 report and no record of any remediation showing that that hazard is no longer present, that area be not utilized or not occupied in any way until,
And not used for storage.
which,
Nothing else down there, nothing else out of it.
Well, the danger, my understanding is if you store things down there, and if they have mold spores, which my understanding is you can't see
Right,
sometimes.
they're microscopic.
And then you bring the files back up,
Yeah.
and then the mold spores come up here, and then you bring them back down, so basically you're just,
and what, do we know what departments utilize that space for file storage currently?
not me.
Yeah, okay.
Probably anybody that needs it. I mean, I know COA was using it for storage.
Yeah, I think the fire department has stuff down there.
I think there might be other boxes of files and things like that, but that could be any department.
Okay. So I guess, is everyone in agreement that a good first step is that that space is not utilized until it gets a clean bill of health based on the past reports?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay,
So you just have to decide how you want to communicate that to the town administrator.
all right.
You could call her, you could,
I think,
Yeah, I would probably
With a follow-up.
document it with an email to
Yep.
start with. We can list out those concerns and the next steps, and that at least immediately that not be utilized. And then we can also suggest that should they want a joint meeting to further discuss these next steps and how to go about
Yeah.
it, that they can
Okay.
certainly
do you
work.
want me to do a draft and send it to you in the morning?
Yeah, if you don't mind, and I will look at it this time.
Access limited to just functions for the building.
I think access would be only if necessary for repair or work
Yeah,
to
and
keep the
then, I mean,
building.
if you get a company that goes in and does inspections during the remediation process, sometimes they do two things. They'll like plastic a place off, and then they also do that negative airflow thing.
negative
Yeah.
pressure.
What it is.
Yeah, keep stuff from migrating through the building.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's stuff out there.
All right, so is there a motion on that avenue to tag this space as not usable, habitable, until we have some definitive answers as to whether the 2005 documented issues were corrected, or testing, et cetera, reveals that there is no longer any hazards there.
Well, I think it's important that we have it tested regardless.
Okay.
I think that's a very reasonable thing to do, and I would make a motion that, without repeating myself,
Yeah.
that we go forth and send an email. One other thing I'd like to bring up is we had an issue with rodents, rats.
Yeah, there's some
Over.
emails in the mail about that.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's handle this one issue first.
So the immediate
So-
remedy is limit access to the basement, and then we'll work on the other stuff.
So, if I may paraphrase, the motion would be to limit access to the basement. And I can work on a letter with Kathy illustrating that, as well as next steps of testing and what we recommend for that, and proposing a joint meeting to discuss
Yes.
any future action.
Yeah, let's just put in a little caveat that if a pipe bursts or someone has to flip a breaker,
Sure.
that way
Other than immediate.
some wise guy doesn't let the building
emergency
burn down and
repairs
smile.
to-
Well, yeah, because obviously our public water supply well is located in
Yeah.
the basement, and Sari and company goes down once a month and does testing.
Okay.
So, I mean, obviously those
Those functions that are necessary to keep the building operational.
Right.
Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
I'd make a second.
Okay. Any further discussion?
No.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And I will work with Kathy on that tomorrow and get that out without delay.
Awesome.
The other issue on 5 Palm, or with this parcel, is the rodent issue. You wanted to discuss that?
Well, yeah, just that if you have a rodent infestation, which we did, it's got to be run through the Board of Health. We need to be able to know about it and follow up on it. We've had a rodent rat issues in the past in town, and we do follow up on it, make sure that it's been taken care of. The sources of food sources are gone, and talk to the exterminators or whoever else is involved. An extermination company was contacted, but I don't think that if I hadn't heard about it, we might not have known about it.
Okay.
I mean, what usually happens, and we're not talking about town property, we're talking about private property.
Sure.
What usually happens is we get a complaint
Yeah.
from someone, and then the first thing that happens is the health agent goes out and he documents
Right.
what's there.
Which kind of starts the
That
process.
starts the process. He usually comes back if there is an issue. He will do an order to correct, and that will say, you know, hire yourself a company by X date. You know, have the company's inspection sent to us. You know, come to the next meeting, and you basically you create a timeline.
Yeah.
Do we know what the status of that issue is currently?
It's never come through the Board of Health, so.
Okay.
So we don't know what was there before, we don't know what's there now. And again, this is, you know, this is what we do for private property. If it was rats in here and, you know, we have mice dying here all the time, it's a different
Sure.
protocol. So, and there are emails in mail that are discussing this.
Okay. All right, so maybe we'll discuss it a little further when those emails come up.
Okay.
All right. Does that...
That concludes everything but mail.
Okay.
And going forward, now that we're going back to, or going off of our summer schedule,
Yep.
the mail will not be as,
Voluminous.
I guess voluminous is a good word, because we'll be seeing each other every 2 weeks.
You gotta sign that. You gotta sign that.
Isn't it? You signed it in here.
I signed my name.
Okay, gentlemen. And we have the month of July Maven documentation regarding Lyme disease and other diseases. We had 1 new COVID in July and 9 new Lyme diseases in town, and that was received on August 5th at the Board of Health.
Okay.
And this is an email from Chuck Moeller, dated Friday, August 1st. He is the gentleman who was in at our last July meeting, inquiring about 140 Palmer Road and, you know, the number of events and so
Sure.
forth. And he said, thank you, Kathy, enjoyed meeting with you and the rest of the board on Tuesday evening. The information you provided and the attached is very helpful, thank you. Yes, Kim and I are considering purchasing 140 Palmer Road, Plympton, and continue the legacy of Just Right Farm. That is our only reason for our interest in purchasing the property, which is why our understanding of these permits and parameters are so important to us. For other town departments copied here, is there anything we should be aware of from a permitting standpoint? We understand the 59 days open between May and October. Is there a potential occupancy maximum for number of guests in the barn next to the main house for dinners on a Friday or Saturday evening? Thank you, Chuck Moeller. So that was a very nice letter. He seemed like a very nice gentleman.
Yeah. Be nice to keep that property utilized the same way.
And this is received here at the Board of Health on August 5th. It was sent from our fire chief on Friday the 1st. That dumpster is on the church.
The bottom one.
Oh, the bottom one first, yes. It's from the fire chief to the Board of Health and the CC, the selectman's assistant, subject health concern. Yesterday, while walking between the new baseball field and the church, I noticed several rats in the wooded area behind the library, baseball field, and the dumpster. I spoke to Bree at the town hall. She was able to determine that the dumpster belongs to the daycare center. Due to obviously proximity to the library and fire station, Bree has already spoken to an exterminator. The exterminator will be here on Monday and recommends the removal of the dumpster to eliminate the food source. He will set the appropriate traps and monitor them weekly. Once the rat activity slows, the large pile of brush and compost in the wooded area will need to be removed. We spoke to the daycare owner and she is willing to temporarily remove the dumpster. However, she needs guidance on how to properly dispose of her daily trash. Let me know if there's any additional information I can provide. Thanks, Chief Cheryl Duddy, Plympton Fire Department. And this is from
She said
us
that
to the
here, so
chief.
I replied.
Our response, that dumpster is on church property. It is used by the church, daycare tenant, and tenant at the parsonage. Church should be informed that they should take care of the problem, not a town issue. Please inform the church immediately. If any further action is warranted, the health agent can handle it. So that was our
Okay.
response.
I might suggest we do have Kevin follow up with the daycare owner and see what's going on with that.
And this is from, this is on Tuesday, August 5th. And it's from the selectman's assistant to the fire chief and board of health with a CC to the town administrator. Thank you, chief. The exterminator was here yesterday and set out the traps. They will be back in 2 weeks to replenish the food in the traps and see how much they've eaten. I did confirm with the church that the dumpster was removed and that after the situation is under control, they will make arrangements to remove the wood pile. They have also provided a list of trash removal companies that are used here in town to the owner of that daycare. The invoice from the exterminator will be forwarded to the church. They have no issue in paying for the service and thanked us for our assistance. And that was from Brigitte Martin. Okay, and we have a Mass Department of Public Health, the arbovirus surveillance program report, and which involves West Nile virus and EEE. Number of EEE positive samples was 2, and one of them was in Halifax. Well,
Thank you.
and that raised our level to moderate in
Right.
town here because of that adjacent community. And this one is from the Department of Environmental Protection, received here August 6th at the Plympton Board of Health. And it's to Mr. Arthur Bloomquist, Committee Chair, First Congregational Church in Plympton, Mass. Regarding Plympton Public Water Supply, First Congregational Church reclassification. Dear Mr. Bloomquist, the Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection, the department, received your letter dated July 29, 2025, stating that in addition to the Sunday congregants and the occasional dinners and meetings, the First Congregational Church's population includes the parsonage and a daycare. Your letter indicates that the water system regularly serves greater than 25 of the same people for more than 4 hours a day. Based on your letter, Mass DEP has determined that your system must be reclassified from a transient, non-community TNC to a non-transient, non-community water system, NTNC. Non-transient, non-community water system means, a public water system that is not a community water system and has at least 15 service connections or regular services that regularly serves at least 25 of the same individuals for approximately 4 or more hours a day, 4 or more days a week, more than 6 months or 180 days a year. Such a workplace providing water to its employees or a daycare. NTNC systems have increased sampling requirements over those of a TNC system. Mass DEP has provided you with a new 3-year sampling schedule and a lead and copper ruling sampling plan in separate correspondence. Please pay close attention to the new sampling requirements to remain in compliance with the Massachusetts drinking water regulation. If you have any questions or concerns concerning this letter, please contact Scott Sayers and the phone number. And this is from Jim McLaughlin, the Drinking Water Program, Bureau of Water Resources. So, and it lists some of the various things that they require.
Okay. Well, that's good that that was identified. Now they're going to have a more rigid schedule. What is the schedule? Do they provide it? Okay. We will get the results though of that sampling.
Yep. And we also, if they become non-compliant at any point, we get those too.
Okay.
Increase in sampling.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, when you get bumped up, it just means, it's in what is.
Yep.
And this email is from Zachary Fox, Senior Vice President of Project Finance and Senior Vice President of Project Development, Rewild Renewables. Good morning. And it was sent to Conservation, Town Clerk, and the Board of Health. notice of subsurface investigation for Brook Street Solar. Please take this email as noticed on Thursday and Friday, August 14 and 15. Representatives for Rewild Renewables will be performing a limited subsurface investigation, test pitting, at the property off Brook Street for the purposes of site discovery necessary to inform stormwater design features for the proposed solar project. The purpose of this notice is twofold. One, to communicate to the members of the town of Plympton so that you are aware of the scope of activity in the event residents who live nearby to the proposed project site have any questions, and two, to invite any staff, engineering representatives from the town should they wish to observe. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out to me at the numbers below. Gregory Fox.
And if you remember, the planning board did send us the plans for that, and Kevin looked at it and said,
Yeah, I don't think they were to be involved. Yeah.
Okay, and this next one is from the Massachusetts Department of Public Health Arborvirus Surveillance Program Report. And this was for, we received this August 12th. So this was from 8/3 to 8/9, August 3rd through August 9th. They tested 5,850 mosquito samples. And let's see, number of West Nile virus positive horses, 0. Number of EEE positive horses, 0. Number of other West Nile virus positive mammals, 1.
goat.
And no human cases of West Nile virus or EEE. So that was a pretty good report there.
So the sports fields stay open?
Yep.
Yep. And this one is from Ethan Stiles to the Board of Health. And Barry DeCristofaro and Robert Orr. Special permit for kennel license on 30 Cross Street. Notice of hearings. Dear Board of Health and Animal Control Officer, pursuant to zoning bylaw 300-7.1P, the Board of Health has been given notice of an application for a special permit for kennel license. The notice of hearing is attached. Also pursuant to the general bylaws 135-9F, the Animal Control Officer must inspect the premises proposed to be used as a kennel and submit a written report to the ZBA. Thank you, Ethan Stiles, ZBA Secretary. And that was on October 12th.
Yeah, and I worked with the town clerk on this, and actually here in Plympton, things are done a little differently, and kennel licenses go through the town clerk's office.
Yeah.
So she got that one. We're out of it.
So, and this is our,
Budget?
is it monthly budget? Okay, so this says as of August 14th, we have used 7.51% of our annual budget for a month and a half. So that's a good thing.
Good.
And this was received by the Board of Health on August 14th, and it is from Brian, the animal inspector.
Clean.
Clean. And it was written to the town clerk. Hi, Tara. In light of a clear org chart where I would know who I am to report to, I am trusting you with this letter. I have been the annual animal inspector in the town of Plympton for about 6 years, including a year as the animal control officer, ACO. Almost all this time has been extremely positive and pleasant. No town is perfect. And the times that were not showed what great people the residents and the employees are too. I will be turning 68 in September and have recently had multiple health issues either crop up or get worse. I had one surgery in August and I'm scheduled for invasive hand surgery for my Dupuytren's.
Do something contraction.
Yeah.
I've seen it on TV.
My apologies if I mispronounced. Contracture in mid-January. That surgery had a long recovery period, and I won't be able to use my right hand much. In addition to this, I was diagnosed a few years ago with Parkinson's disease, which is a progressive disease, and this has gotten a little worse. This will have a direct impact on my ability to perform my duties. As a result of this, and after a very lengthy period of trying to decide, I've decided that I need to retire from my role. I'd like to make this effective January 10th, 2026, which is the same day I will be retiring from the same role in Halifax. I've thoroughly enjoyed working for the town of Plympton and consider most of my, quote, customers to be friends. I'll run into them either at Shaw's in Carver or at Town Hall or at the Spire Center or somewhere else. We will invariably wind up talking for a long time. Barn inspection season is enjoyable because of these relationships, and it feels like I'm catching up with old friends. I will miss this aspect of the job terribly. It does feel like now is the time for me to move on, though, and I'd appreciate it if you could ensure that this gets into the right hands. Best regards, Brian. So, he's very, very nice in giving
Yeah.
such a lengthy notice to the town.
And we do work with him, and I thought I might reach out to Halifax and see what they're gonna do, and then we could
Yeah.
Yep, good idea.
share. Because it is kind of cloudy. I mean, in some towns, both the animal inspector and the ACO report to the Board of Health, but here in Plympton, the ACO is a member of the police department, and the animal inspector, nobody knows who he reports to. So, it's a really important job and has to be filled. So
Okay.
I'll report back as to what Halifax thinks they're gonna do about it.
Well, sorry to see him go. He did a good job
Yeah,
for
he's a
us.
great guy.
Yeah, we were.
And this was another one from the Massachusetts Department of Public Health Arbovirus Surveillance Program report dated August 19th. And again, it's a good one. No positive horses for West Nile virus or Triple E. So, and no human cases for either virus. So, that's good. And this is from the Board of Health to the town administrator and the Board of Health members, with CCs to Dana Smith, Nathaniel Sides, Mark Russo, and the COA director regarding vaccine clinic questions. And this is received August 20th. At the next meeting, the board will be discussing the exact same offer from CBS. We'll update you after the meeting.
So yeah, that began with
The one down below.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I always do that.
I know.
I know. This was from Liz to the Board of Health, Brad, Jared, and myself, with CCs to the 3 Board of Selectmen members and the COA director. Vaccine clinic questions. Good afternoon. Another item I mentioned in passing to Art yesterday afternoon, the Council on Aging was contacted by the pharmacy manager at Hannaford's in Middleborough. She used to work with Nate Sides and asked if we would be interested in holding a vaccination clinic at the COA this fall. They would administer influenza and COVID vaccines, which are covered at no cost under most insurance plans, including Medicare and Mass Health. They could also offer other vaccines such as RSV, pneumonia, and shingles if there's enough interest. we might be interested not only for COA, but for all town employees and possibly even opening it up to the town residents. Hannaford can provide all the required paperwork to show they are in compliance, following all relevant protocols. Does COA or the town need any particular approvals of the Board of Health? Also, do you have any general recommendations or concerns? Is this something that we could do either in the Deborah Sampson meeting room or in the community room at the police department? Thank you. Best, Liz.
So basically, the COA was contacted by Hannaford's, and the Board of Health was contacted by CVS. So I guess they're all trying to do the same thing, which is come into towns, set up clinics. I reached out to Kevin and I said, what do you think? But he didn't respond. So this is one of the things on his desk that he didn't get to. So, I don't know.
Keep it on the agenda. He'll have some time before next meeting, hopefully, and we can figure out what path we want to take.
Because yeah, it seems like this is something that all the pharmacies are now going to try to get into, which is, it's free.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, the next one is an email from the town administrator to the Board of Health, board members with a CC to Dana Smith, and its subject is BOH items for review received on August 20th, 2025. Good afternoon. There has been discussion in the townhouse recently about the possibility of mold in the basement and concerns regarding asbestos in ceiling and floor tiles, etc. In speaking with Art Moran after the selectmen's meeting yesterday, it was mentioned that the Board of Health may be discussing this at your next meeting. If you could please take a look into any testing that may be recommended for the townhouse, it would be appreciated. We want to ensure a safe working environment for all. If you do make any decisions and need our office to help facilitate, please let us know. Also, Art mentioned the rodent issue at the church that affected the area of the field on the town property at the rear of the fire station. Please accept our apologies for the Board of Health not being notified. I was away that week and the issue came up and didn't learn until later that Bree had arranged for an exterminator to come out at the church's expense to mitigate the situation. I was told that there was a large brush pile that's too big for the highway department to remove, and it is likely home to many rodents. The exterminator recommended that this be dealt with before winter. John Shosted from the fire department was going to look into this and see if maybe it could be a controlled burn. Just passing along the information I received from Bree. We will make sure that department heads who have buildings under their purview know that anything to do with rodents, pests, require immediate notification to the Board of Health, and that you will determine what the next steps might be necessary. Best, Liz.
And did you say that we're going to have Kevin do something? Right?
Yeah, just follow up with the daycare.
I think Kevin, if we're talking about the brush pile, Kevin needs to ascertain whether that's on private property or whether that's on town property before.
Okay. And this is from Liz, the town administrator.
Another rodent email.
Yeah.
Looks good.
You mean you'd like to get to bed before midnight tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is from Ross Rossetti.
I'm talking rats today.
And he is the superintendent pilot for the Plymouth County Mosquito Control Project. This is dated August 25th. Hello all, I hope everyone had a nice weekend. I just want to let everyone know that we'll stop taking residential spray requests on August 29th. We will continue spraying for schools, special events, town requests, or in response to virus. Please let me know if you have any questions, and let's hope that the rest of the mosquito season ends quietly. Thank you, Ross.
Excellent.
A step of putting that notice on our website.
And this is from the town administrator again. again on August 25th. Internal permitting software discussion. Good morning. I'm in the process of identifying potential providers for the internal permitting software that we received a grant funding to implement. The main users are likely to be offices that issue permits, with some others using software as well, but more on the periphery.
Permitting, Emil?
Yeah,
Perfect.
So, she just
They're in the
Wants-
initial phases of maybe
wants to
putting
know
together an
who
RFP. Yeah,
on the Board
include
of
us.
Health she should be liaising with.
Yeah.
No, I already, if it's okay with you guys, I already told her I would be happy.
Yeah, if the town's gonna put in an RFP for permitting software, it should certainly include our stuff. So, yeah, just let them know whatever they need in terms of what permits we actually involve on. Maven again?
yeah, this is again from the Mass Department of Public Health Arbovirus Survey Program Report, received on August 26, 15 positive mosquitoes from Bristol, Hampshire, and Plymouth counties. But the good news is 0 horses for West Nile and 0 for Triple E, and 0 human cases for West Nile and 0 human cases for Triple E.
Perfect. Another win.
We can live for another week.
And this is from the Board of Health to the Selectman's Assistant, with copies to the Town Administrator and the Board of Selectmen individuals regarding an odor. And it was from the Selectman's Assistant initially. Hi Kathy, we had a few ladies come in to me today regarding a foul odor of possibly a dead mouse. I sprayed some Lysol and did a few twist-ups to help with the odor for now. I will remove them when I leave. I have placed a call today to Able Pest Control. When they came to the church with the dumpster issue, they had informed me that they would be out in the fall to replace the poison traps throughout the building and take a look at any entry areas and seal them. I've spoken with Liz and I think we should come sooner rather than later. I will let you know the day they will be scheduling us. If you have any questions, please let us know. And received, I will update the board tonight at their
That was
meeting.
today?
Yeah.
And breaking news, they'll be here Friday at 8 a.m.
Where was the odor?
I don't know. It's not-
It didn't, it just said 5 people smelled something, but not really where. So,
Wasn't here. I'm lucky in that with the door closed, I really.
yeah. All right, I mean, that would have been good info, so they could follow up on that, but whatever.
Well, I'm thinking you can find mice everywhere.
So that'll be good, they'll get the traps out and replace it.
Yeah, just,
That it for mail?
That's it. Thank goodness.
You don't want to check
I can
again?
find some more.
All right, that it?
Make that famous motion.
Good lord. Anyone want to make a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion, we adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All
Aye.
right, motion adjourned at, good lord. 6:50. Let's not do that again.
You can't even do